D is for defense. Not today. I think D is for disappointing, disheartening, daunting, and dilemma. 52-34, the Lions fall or crumble. Let's talk about it, commiserate, and deliberate with the 3 Down Bros next. Leo's Legion, your 3 Down Bros here, Roland, Arthur, and Greg. And yes, we are 3 down bros. Our attitudes are down. We're disheartened. We're disappointed. We're disgusted, actually. Lions get 52 points dropped on them. 6 of them was a pick six, but really the rest of it was just the defensive woes rearing their ugly head yet again. We thought we had turned the corner. Here we are with our high, let's call it low-level thoughts after that game. Let's talk about it, starting with Roland. You know what? We can write it quicker than I think they can write the defensive check. Watch this. We have coaching, we have talent, we have technology. Roland will be back.
Just let this
there we go. See that?
All right,
we
here
fixed
we
the
go.
defensive woes right away.
Yes, very, very embarrassing, pathetic. I mean, you know, there's quite a lot of words. A total collapse. But if you're joining us today, feel free to put in your chat. I know if you're feeling half as upset as we are, there's going to be a lot to talk about. So feel free to put your thoughts in the comments. Let me read some before I give my high-level thoughts. Habs for Life says, what a joke. This team is going nowhere. Major personnel issue on defense, let alone play calling. Benny can't rush the QB or cover receivers. And he goes on, I'd say it's like 65-35 defensive personnel. Harpreet says, I agree with disgusted. Yeah, completely. Ashley says, this new heralded GM has been very underwhelming in his talent signings. D-line completely ineffective. Betts is washed and needs to be gone at season's end. And his huge salary can be better used elsewhere.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear you guys. I hear you guys. And my high-level thoughts, as I said, you know, you guys said, you know, disgusted is another one. All those words. I mean, actually, if you'll allow me, Arthur and Greg, I'm just gonna quickly go through all, you know, just a high-level run-through, right? Toronto, their offense, first drive was a field goal, second was a punt, third was a field goal. Then they get a touchdown with a 2-point convert, and then it's not their offense, but they get a pick six, and then another touchdown. That's the first half. The second half, it's a touchdown, a 2 and out, a touchdown, a punt, and then a field goal. So they only had 2 punts the whole game. BC, on the other hand, we started out strong. Touchdown. We got a 2 and out. Then we threw a pick six and then a touchdown. At this point, the score was 21-28. So it's still within reason. Then at the end of the first half, we take a knee with 33 seconds left. 3 knees. So we can talk more about that in a bit. Second half, we march all the way down to the Toronto 3-yard line, and then we kick a field goal on third down. Next drive was a 2 and out. Next drive was a touchdown with a missed 2-point convert. Next drive was a field goal. Again, we marched all the way down to the Toronto 6-yard line, and then we do a field goal. And then we do a punt single from the BC 55, and then a turnover on downs. So, yeah, very, that's, we'll talk more about that, but that's just kind of frame the thing. Let me read a few more comments, and then I'll pass it to Arthur. Perry says, end of first half, Buck the chicken. runs the ball on first down.
Wow.
When in a shootout, you play to win the game. Throw the ball downfield. Yeah, exactly. Like Perry, like that, taking a knee at the end of the first half when there were still 33 seconds left, and then they get a too many men penalty. So now we move up 10 yards, and we still take a knee. We decline that penalty and we take a knee. Captain Buttershirt says, just checking in, give you gents a like. We'll tune in next week. Thanks, Captain
Thanks,
Buttershirt.
Captain Buttershirt. You're too upset. We feel it. We hear you. We feel you.
Yeah. GoPro Peter says, I had high hopes of a mid-season streak propelling us into the playoffs. We had that hope too. Now, I'll be glad if they stay ahead with the streaking Elks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very good observation.
Ashley says, Arbuckle had a great year, no doubt, but he looked like Ricky Ray picking this team apart at will and with ease. Long bombs weren't close. Easy Argo catches. Did you guys notice on the sidelines after each drive, he was sitting with the iPad with the QB coach, basically looking at the whole drive and picking apart what the defense, gave him. And then on the next drive, he would tear us up. They saw exactly, our weaknesses, right? Perry says chickens. Harpreet says the knee made no sense. Yeah. Harpreet says bad challenges continue. Yeah.
Well, we've discussed that on the show. Like, we're going to be battling 13 guys the rest of the year. We know that.
Yeah. Ashley says taking the knee at half inexcusable. Would have been first down at our 41 with 27 seconds left. Exactly. Yeah. This type of coaching where you're being overly conservative doesn't stir up confidence with the players. Like, if my coach is not going to fight, why am I fighting? Right? Very, very frustrating. Okay. I've spoken my piece, Arthur. Your turn.
Oh, hey. Hello, everybody. So what was the question? It's high-level thoughts,
high-level
right?
Thoughts, yeah.
High-level thoughts. Well, our top-ranked offense played okay, pretty decent. Our special teams, I was looking through our special teams, and average-wise, they out-returned the Toronto returners. And, one of the returners is Jadarian Grant. So, mind you, we had a lot of practice. We had we had 8 kickoff returns. So we had a lot of practice. So
Coverage
maybe that helped. But it was good. At least it got on the bright side, our
we got one good
return
return.
Team,
one good return. Right?
At least, or probably more, because Toronto had a good return to start the game, right? Yeah. So I think the defense going into this game was the sixth ranked defense, according to CFL.ca overall stats. Now, it's a question as the Lions don't give up a lot of yards. They're in the middle of the road of giving up an amount of points. They don't really take the ball away. So, of course, I think that's going to drop probably by 1 or 2 ticks. The teams that are coming into this Week 11 that are worse than the Lions were Hamilton, Toronto, and Edmonton. So, our hope coming into this year with the change of defensive coordinator is we were going to get a bit of physical, nasty defense that when we got to the playoffs could stop the run, can be a bit nasty, right? Can play nasty in the playoffs because we were just out-physicaled by Winnipeg or Saskatchewan the last 3 years in the playoffs. But what is happening now is we've taken a step back from that, and probably a fairly big step back from the levels that we've had the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's my high-level thought. Not a great one for the defense.
Yeah.
And I really like Benavides, the person. So but yeah, of course this has to hang on him, the performance.
For sure.
Not all on him, but a bit of it on him. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my high level thought.
Okay. Before we get to Greg, let me read a few more comments here. So CFL Central says, not sure if I'm angry really, more so just disappointed. Felt like we'd been finding our game to that point. Yeah, we were. The last two games prior to this, we were moving in the right direction.
We were flirting with the corner, with the corner to turn it.
Yeah. But this game is such a tell or where we're at as a team. Hard to give up on a team when you have an offense that's first in net yards, top receiver, top running back, etc. But seeing the inconsistency, like it's such a hard sell to imagine this. Yeah, absolutely. I was telling Arthur and Greg that, it's our defense that lost us the game. Our offense, is, a championship caliber offense. But we, what can they do if the defense keep giving up touchdowns, right? So seeing the inconsistency, like it's such a hard sell to imagine this roster winning 3 straight road games against the best when it matters the most. Yeah, it's hard to imagine right now.
Yep.
Perry says, Greg, are you the first down bro? And Art, are you the second down bro?
I'm just a very down bro.
Okay. Harpreet says, I didn't think we could top the Ticats loss at home.
Well, we did.
Okay, this should put you in a better mood, Greg. You look good today.
As opposed to what every other day. I don't look good. Thanks, Perry. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Is his scheming not working for the pass rush, or what is it? Okay, so he's talking about Benny, or and let me read one more. Harpreet says, I think they finished 9-9. Crossover to the East semi. Ottawa times 2. What is it?
We play Ottawa twice and one more versus Toronto.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huge games. Now Edmonton is now only one win back with a game in hand. Yeah, I know. We should have won yesterday's game. Now it's way too close. Okay. Sorry, Greg, your turn.
No problem. I don't know if my high-level thoughts or it's going to be a high-level rant. I vented a lot during the game, and I had a lot of people agree with me and a couple of people disagree with me. But they said at the pregame show, that lovely TSN panel, that the Toronto Argonauts do not want to trade punches with our high-powered offense, which I get them, right? Because I mean, you look at on paper, we're and so like, okay, they come down, get a field goal. They actually made that drive look pretty easy, right? But I thought, okay, maybe it's noon, our defense isn't awake yet, yada yada yada. They started at what, midfield or whatever, but then we come right down, touchdown. Okay, they come down, what, maybe a field goal? I can't remember. We come down, touchdown. Okay, you know what? I'll trade touchdowns for field goals. No problem.
Yeah.
But then the pick six, the one mistake the offense makes that changed. I don't know how to put it, but we're punch for punch. They kind of like basketball. They go down, score, we go down, score. They go down, score. But now that pick six was a stop plus a 14-point turnaround. And then boom, boom, boom. Now we're playing catch up because that pick six flipped it more than just the turns. It flipped the taking turns. It flipped it, and our defense could not regain the momentum. Offense did everything they could. Every time they touched the ball after that, they scored, as Roland said. And a couple of chicken calls or cowardly calls, whatever you want to call it, indecisive calls, conservative calls. Let's just call it. They were horrible calls.
Yeah.
We don't go for the major. We settle for a field goal. Well, that's fine, but they're punching with touchdowns. Now it's the way we didn't want it.
Yes.
We're trading our field goal for their touchdown, and I don't care how we slice it. And all of our listeners and followers, whatever, disagree with me, whatever you want to do, because we welcome it. But the defense is solely responsible for gaining momentum back when they've given it away when they can't stop it. The offense can't do anything other than score a major. Now you got to give the ball back. It's up to the defense, and the defense crumbled. The defense had no answer, nothing. And all those people out there, let Benny go, bring up Phillips. I'm sorry, all due respect to Ryan Phillips. He's from the same school of thought. Bend, don't break, and all of this stuff. It just doesn't work because when you bend, your defense is on the field longer anyway. You may not give up a touchdown, but you're on the field X amount of plays longer while you're bending. And this defense has to change. And I said it at the top of the show, daunting because of the hill we have to climb now. Daunting because it's a major something that's got to change. And dilemma, because like Arthur's been talking, we can't cover the pass, but we can stop the run. Okay, now we stop the pass, but we can't stop the run. Either way, we're not even getting any pressure on the quarterback. Arbuckle had time to have lunch back there. And Arbuckle, he's been in the league. I get it. He's seen stuff. He's a Dave Dickinson protege, the dink and dunk. But my Lord, he let those bombs go. We weren't anywhere near. None of our DBs were close enough to contest any catch that the Argo receivers made. Whereas the flip side, Nathan had to almost be 100% accurate because their Argos were within an arm's reach of our receivers. Save those couple passes to Hatcher to start the game. But the Argos made the adjustments they needed to and kept our 34 points should win you a game. But they held us to a couple of 2-and-outs at the right time, the pick six at the right time, because the D could not get the momentum back.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed, to say the least. Can I say that on a show?
Yes, yes, for sure.
You too.
Let me read a few more comments. So CFL Centra says, Rourke has basically the same numbers in passing yards as he did in that magical 2022 season. Tough seeing prime years of Rourke, Hatcher, etc. slip away. You don't get infinite kicks at the can. Yeah, absolutely.
No, you don't.
You gotta take advantage of every opportunity that you have. Huge Benno says, fire that clown Benavides. He's in over his head. Amar Doman has clowns on the sidelines for this team. Need to write a check and get a guy like Kirby Smart or Nick Saban to be defensive coordinator.
Okay, Nick Saban commands more than the CFL salary cap for the whole entire league, I believe. Alabama.
Well, CFL Central
Yes,
says Nick Saban will not be coming to BC long. Huge Benno says, I spent years owning my own business. You need to be willing to write checks. Put your ass on the line. All about the art of the deal. I mean, Amar has been writing checks.
Yes, yeah.
Nathan says, Rourke needed to put over 50 points to win. That's ridiculous. Absolutely. And, the thing is, like we said, right? When we had chance, like, as the coach, you need to sense the, how the game is going. And we saw by the second half that our defense just can't prevent any scores, right? So when we had a chance, like when we were at the Toronto 3-yard line, I on a third down, I would have punched it in, right? You punch it in. Later on the Toronto 6-yard line, same thing, right? So those 2 field goals, if we did touchdowns, I don't know, at least you're fighting. That kneel at the end of the first half, I mean, that's just doesn't make sense.
You are fueling the swagger tank of the Argos by taking those knees, by conceding the field goal, because they know, hey, they can't, like you said, Roland, they're looking at that iPad and giggling because they know we can't be stopped. So yeah, let them get a field goal, let them punch it in, because that, like I said, that pick six changed the momentum. So we score a touchdown, they score a touchdown, but there's still 2 touchdowns ahead. It just, and hi to Nathan, by the way. We haven't seen him in a while, so I just want to say hello.
Hello, Nathan. Yes. Harpreet says operations cap all in, likely the main reason there won't be any coaching changes.
100% Harpreet.
Yeah.
CFL Centra says even when Deontay Williams was close enough, he completely misplayed any contested catch opportunities. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
it is frustrating. CFL Centris, you Nathan, I think I watched that Journey to the Grey Cup re-uploaded on your channel 1,000 times growing up. Okay.
Is that the 2011 Journey? I got the CD or the DVD. Sorry. Wow, I'm old. DVD.
Perry says the pick six, I agree, was a TSN turning point. Rourke still had to be held responsible for the mistake. I mean, that was early in the game, though, Perry. It was early in the game. By the end of the half, even with the kneel, it was 21-28. It was still within reach. I think
if the defense could get a stop.
Yeah.
Because you need a stop to close that gap to even and then trade punches again. But
yeah. Huge Benno says, Nathan has been hung out to dry. Need to trade him for draft picks and cap space.
What?
Think Herschel Walker to Dallas back in the day. Same thing. I love cap space.
Huge Benno, are you an accountant?
Huge
I think
Benno.
I realized. I thought Benno was Benavides, but Benno is bean counter. He's a bean counter.
It's not hockey. CFL cap space it's not the same as hockey. Not the same as NHL. But I mean, I understand draft picks, but Nathan Rourke is 26, 27 years old. I mean, you're going to build around him. I mean, you look at these other teams that are really strong right now, but they have very aging quarterbacks. In 2 or 3 years, I mean, next year, Trevor Harris will be 40. Caleros is going to be mid-30s. Vernon Adams is going to be 35 soon.
36.
Yeah,
He's 35
so
already.
we got to hang on to Nathan Work. I mean, yeah, it may not look good for this year, or but we're gonna have to retool our D and come back stronger next year. So we need a quarterback. CFL,
Yeah.
you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Other than Alexander in Montreal, I think Nathan and everybody else is in the mid-30s or over.
Well,
Are
I
they
think
not?
Drew Brown's the same
Oh,
age.
oh, right. Forgot about Drew. That's right.
So,
And then it depends what you think about Trey Ford.
yeah. So CFL
Oh,
Central says.
who? I was thinking that's Cody
Who?
Fajardo's
Who?
team. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So CFL Central agrees. Let's keep it realistic. No talk about trading Nathan.
Nathan is your
Yeah.
poster boy. You trade Nathan, you can say goodbye to X percentage of ticket sales.
Yeah. So CFL Central says cap space in the CFL is a mirage. Let me read a few more comments. So Harpreet says D actually only gave up 45 points. Yeah, but it's still a lot.
Yeah, but
Argos had the pick 6. Still too many for D to surrender. Yeah, that's right.
right, but the D gave up 45. We only scored 34. Take the pick 6 off the board. We're still outscored by 2 scores.
Yeah. Q-Man says, when the other team's coach is laughing at his iPad, you know it's bad. Yeah. Like Arbuckle was like so happy. Like they were looking at the iPad and they were, just picking apart our defense, right?
But again, in defense of our guys, the camera, because it was the center of the universe. Not my opinion, Arthur, but that's what they call
You
it.
keep on saying it, man. I'm
The
starting to
Toronto
wonder.
Sports Network, TSN, shows everything on the Toronto sideline. They didn't show us. I mean, we're probably looking at the iPad. Mind you, we might not be laughing. We might have this puzzled, confused, bewildered, oh my gosh, what are we going to do look? But I don't think I think offensively we were okay. Looking at the iPad, they could figure stuff out on the defense. Because, I mean, they were moving the ball with some success most of the time.
But again, when we got to the red zone and it's
Yeah.
third down and close to the goal line,
That comes down to the
Yeah.
coaching. But,
all right. So Perry says nope momentum. I think he was referring to the turning point. So Harpreet says the knee was the turning point, possibly because you basically saying I'm not gonna fight, right? I'm gonna give you this half and then come back. Perry says Toronto QB made no mistakes. I mean, it was
Pretty
very
hard.
easy for him. Q-Man says Calgary changed every defensive player from last year, and now they're the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
One thing.
All defensive char starters changed in Calgary. Yeah.
how many? Sorry, Arthur?
12. All 12
12. We
changed.
cleaned house.
All 12.
Wow.
But you know who they got? They got our defensive line coach,
John Bowman.
who Matthew Betts came back to BC because Bowman was here, and then we let Bowman go, and then look at Calgary's defensive line now.
Well,
Kick
I
ass, man.
I texted you guys last night watching the highlights. Pressure with 4 guys consistently. Pressure with 4 guys and sacks, not just pressure, sacks.
And look at Matthew Betts' performance when he was here the year before with Bowman as his coach, right? So coaching makes a huge difference. We've got players that have the abilities, but they need the coaches to basically pick apart what they need to do. Just like what that QB coach was doing with Nick Arbuckle, looking at the iPad, right? This is what we see. Next drive, you target this. Huge Benno says, got to build around the draft. Look at the Chicago Blackhawks with Taves and Kane.
Well, the CFL draft has not been kind to the Lions in the last few years,
Nope.
and that's
Yeah.
probably an issue. It's gonna get they have to draft better. Una's been not
Fair to
good.
Midland.
Yeah. Harpreet says, I don't like Mazzoli in short yard situations. Well, actually, the last few games he was okay, although it took him 2 tries.
Three tries.
Well,
Take
do you
that.
guys
Well,
remember that one
technically.
play that was super slow-mo? And I've bitched about this. You know the snap count. You know where you're going. Center snaps it to Mazzoli. Center was the only guy that
Yeah,
moved.
center was gone. But
Nobody else on the line moved until they were hip level.
Yeah, it was a silent count, so it's, yeah,
But the Toronto D line queued on the center faster than we did,
yeah.
and that's our team. Silent snap count or not, you still know the count. Move when your center moves. It's like, wow, now you guys haven't moved. Toronto's right in your face, and then Mazzoli trips on. I think he tripped on Pearson's ankle,
Yeah.
and then rolls up on Cotoy's ankle. That would have been disastrous if Cotoy
Yeah.
doesn't come back.
Yeah. Nathan says, it was frustrating to see Benavides not having the guts to blitz when the Argos were in the red zone. Just way too conservative. Yeah. Yeah, we're just too conservative on defense, on offense. Okay. So I think a lot of us got some stuff off our chest. Arthur, you wanna walk us through this next segment?
All right. So I asked the bros to. Everyone gets each bro gets 5 minutes, right? You're gonna tell me the state of the BC Lions defense and how you would change it in this bye week.
Just the defense, so we're not touching the
Just
offense.
the defense.
The state of it, or what we think's wrong with? I guess
Well,
same thing, right?
you tell me the state. Hopefully you don't dwell 4 minutes and 50 seconds on what the state is, because it's really more the state sets the table for what you're gonna do to change it.
Okay.
I
Who
mean,
goes
the
first?
state means you can tell us what's wrong with it, which is the same thing. That's taking a very extreme negative view. But, well, if it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck.
All right.
It's a duck.
You want to go first, Greg, or you want me to go first? I don't think I'll take 5 minutes. I don't have that many. My
You
brain's
go
not
for it,
that
bro.
big.
I just ranted. Everybody's probably tired of hearing this bro's
My
voice.
brain's not that big.
I
So-
just whined.
Definitely defense lost us the game, and we've been saying the last I don't know how many games that our defense needs to step up. And the 2 games before this one, it seemed like our defense was starting to improve. We got like 3 sacks the previous game in Montreal.
Against a number 4 quarterback.
Yeah,
without their best 3 or 4 offensive weapons.
yeah.
But who's counting? I mean,
But
they
still,
still.
it's moving. It's moving
yeah.
it was moving in the right direction. So I was with the other comment earlier that I felt like okay, we were moving in the right direction. And then yesterday's game was, like a complete fallback to even worse. Right? We can't even defeat Toronto. So it was all on the defense. What did I see? The biggest thing is we couldn't apply pressure on the quarterback. It was just our D line was losing the one-on-one battles. Even Matthew Betts, one of my favorite players, he was losing his one-on-one battles. Because of that, our DBs were shredded, right? So Arbuckle had all day to pass, and our DBs were being shredded. So what needs to happen? So there's 2 possible things, right? One is it's a personnel issue, another is it's a coaching issue. It's probably a combination of both. I'm going to focus on the coaching. Like I said earlier, right? When we had Bowman here, our D line was very different from what it is today. So we obviously don't have the right D line coach. A lot of people are asking for Betts to be let go, and half of me is feeling that way too because he's getting paid so much. But I can guarantee you, if we let Betts go, next year he'll go into a team and then he'll be on fire. He'll
Especially
just
when he
light
plays
it up.
us.
He'll just light it up. I can guarantee you that, because I think it's a combination of he has the I believe he has the intrinsic skills, but without Bowman to show him the ropes, he's kind of floundering. Right? He's not using his talents to the best of his abilities. So the question, Arthur, you said, what do we need to do in 2 weeks' time?
What would you do?
I mean, 2 weeks' time is a very short time. There's not much. We can't make any huge changes.
Gotta make some changes. Right?
If there's anyone available, to replace Benny, I'd do that. But who, right?
So you would replace Benavides with a credible defensive coordinator.
A credible defensive coordinator.
If there's one out there.
Yeah. Failing that, I would replace whoever is our D-line coach.
That's Randy
someone
Melvin.
better.
Randy Melvin, 3rd time around with the team.
Was with Hamilton last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be the 2 positions I'm looking at. I don't know if it's doable within 2 weeks, and we probably want to do it sooner because we have a bye week. You don't want it to be right before the next game. So,
It has to be like within the next handful of days.
Yeah. So that's what I would look at.
Personnel.
Personnel. I think if we are able to switch up the coaches, at least one coach, then I think that'll shake it enough. The other thing is the culture. I think we still don't have the right culture in the room.
Who sets the culture on the defensive side? Is it the head coach or the defensive coordinator?
I think either one, right? I don't think it's one or the other. Either one can do it.
Oh, yeah. Who's
Well,
most responsible?
We
How
had
about-
a defensive coach last year in Rick. He was a defensive-minded coach. And our culture, we were talking about the lack of culture then with him too. And RP, fast, aggressive, nasty. Again, to me, it's a combination of the two of them. Head coach gives the message for the team. It's up to the DC to put it in defensive guide language to get them cultured.
Yeah.
To answer
Anyway,
your question.
That's I'll end my time here, and then let me just read a few comments before we get to Greg. Harpreet says the only good thing about yesterday's game was that I got to see the CNE for free. Sure, we got to see a lot
Is
of it.
Harpreet, are you on the TO side? It's a good fair. It's a nice fair. Happy for you.
CFL Central. I wish it was an easy fix at this point in the season. It's hard to reinvent a unit. Not like Chris Jones is hanging around on the market like he was for Hamilton last year. Okay, Habs for Life says if he's being held all game, then he needs to start cheating. I guess you're talking about Matthew Betts. He was so frustrated. If you look at his body language, he was getting upset. He was getting into people's faces. He was completely frustrated because he knows that he can do better, right? Has for Life says, where's Chris Jones coaching? Lol, he was good in Hamilton. Q-Man says, only one you're replacing Benny with is RP mid-season. Yeah, Greg's not.
No.
I'm not keen on that too. CFL Central. CJ, Chris Jones went off to the NCAA ranks. Belichick brought him into...
Oh, North Carolina. University of North Carolina.
Harpy says, NFL cut season. Might be able to bring in some personnel.
Yeah, potentially, yes.
Yeah. Q-Man says, Benny is gone next season anyways. He's unsellable to season tickets base. True.
Well, I mean, I don't think you use a
That's true.
defensive coordinator to sell seasons tickets, but hey,
Yeah. Harpreet says
Yeah.
the CNE was a bigger
It
version
is.
of the PNE.
the food is unbelievable. But we'll talk about that a different show.
All right. Okay, so that's kind of
Last
my
question
thoughts.
to you, Roland.
Yeah.
Did the players quit on the DC?
Did the players?
The defensive players
Oh,
quit
Ah,
on the DC.
That's a good
Whoa.
question.
Greg, you get the same question asked to you.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
What's your gut instinct tell you? Come in, look at the second half.
I didn't get the sense that they quit. I think they were just outplayed. They just couldn't. They kept getting outplayed until they just ran out of steam, and by the fourth quarter they were just running out of gas. That was my sense of the game. I don't think they gave up on the defensive. They were frustrated. Especially Matthew Betts, right? He's frustrated. He knows he can do better. He wanted Bowman to be his coach, and Bowman's gone, and now he's not producing. So,
All right.
yeah.
Gregory,
Sir,
what is the current state of the Lions defense, and how would you change it if you were the head coach or the general manager or both?
the current state of the Lions' defense is discombobulation. They are confused. They are unaware. I really don't think it's a talent thing because they've all made it to the CFL level, right? Everybody's roughly the same amount of talent to get here. You've been pressed at the combine, all that other stuff. But the state of this defense is it has no identity. It has no faith in each other. It has no... It's empty. Because of the confusion, they have no desire. And I said it at the game. They look like they're disinterested. And I know Arthur looked at me like, what are you, nuts? Again, I can only say what it looks like. They just look like they don't really understand what they need to do. You have the bucknacity, as I call it, coming into this year, mentally tough, aggressive. Okay, then you communicate that to your DC because the DC is responsible for that unit. And I don't know, maybe he didn't even get the message because we talked about it yesterday. They're looking like Hamilton won again. And now that is conservative, dare I say
Greg
scared.
means the first game against Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton game 1. Yeah. And, like you said, Arthur, they were scared of Lawler. So now they got to protect against that because they have no belief, and I'm quoting Roll, they have no belief in their coverage ability. So they got to come up with a scheme that protects and covers up that weakness. Well, now you've exposed something else. And I was talking to Kelly Lockbaum, linebacker extraordinaire from when our defense was the last nasty one I can remember. And we agreed that it's a 50-50 thing. It's a personnel and it's a scheme. And it's, like I said, it's discombobulated. You've got flashes of greatness. I mean, we got decent linebackers. Josh Woods is back now. You've got Micah Awe. They're good linebackers talent-wise. We disagreed on what we talked about with the safety. He's like, that safety is always out of position covering deep. Well, like Arthur and we talk about, when that safety's up there to support your run defense, what is that telling you then, right? Because I was talking to Kelly, I was like, well, hey, it's not like the safety's like, oh, I got to go up there. I mean, he is told where to go. He's not making the decision, I'm going to leave it deep. You know, I got the other guys covering deep, so I got to come up here and cover the run. But now it's starting to look like, you know, you got guys like Gary Peters, love him. He's the veteran leadership on that secondary, but the double move eats him up every time. And I want to give Gary the benefit of the doubt. GP is a great guy. Is the double move beating him because he's got doubt in the other guy covering? So he bites because he's trying to do more than his own job. I really don't think these guys have faith in each other right now, because it's not that they don't believe in their fellow player, because they're fighting together in a war, but they're not sure what that other guy's going to do. And we talked about this coming home, that presser in the very beginning, you know, I'm learning what the guy in front of me. No, you just go get the guy with the ball. That's what you got to do. Just go get the guy. Like, I mean, Micah always got to talk about the team first. I get it, but I'm learning what the guy in front of me is going to do. What's his tendency? The guy in front of you is a defensive lineman. His tendency, get through the offensive lineman and get to the quarterback, cause havoc, cause loss of yardage, cause something. But we're not. What I would do to fix it is, Benny, I don't think, well, again, bringing in players is a little easier this late in the season, because what are we, the halfway point-ish?
Yeah.
I mean, week 12, but I mean, we've only played what? Oh, we played 12 games, so 2/3.
11. We play 11 games.
11. Okay. It's going to be tough to bring in a new coach. He knows nothing about the players. Yeah, great. You bring in new players. Yeah, they got to get used to, if they're American, they got to get used to the CFL game. They got to get used to each other. Because these guys all went through training camp together. They've gone through daily practices. This is their gosh darn their gosh darn job. That's all they got to do is their job. So what do? Benny and RP got to get their heads out of wherever they are, get their heads together with Buck in a room, and they do not come out of that room until it is figured out. They got to look at who they've got. And, okay, if you're going to do, I think we read an article, Matt Baker wrote it. I think the Bucknacity motto of this team is BIFO, BIFO. Is that right? Do you guys remember that article? Buy in or off.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, Mr. Lockbaum and I were talking about it. Back when he played, you do stupid penalties like misconducts, second, 2 and out, and then you do it. You lose your temper and you give them a first down and they score a touchdown. You're fined, and then you're lucky if you got a job the next day. Kelly and he stands by it, and I agree with him. We're wondering, like Roland said, what's the culture of this team? Are these guys being held to task? Are they being, and that's special teams, all these blocking, don't get me started there, but are they being held accountable enough? Is there enough pressure on them to step up and perform or go home? So they got to reevaluate the culture. I think I'll just generalize and say reevaluate. Reevaluate the culture. Reevaluate the roster you've got right now. Because again, airlifting in a coach, not an option. Airlifting in players, maybe, but again, now you're messing with chemistry. Go with it. If you're going to go with what you got, you better figure out, if you got round pegs, then you better find round holes to put them in. Because right now, they're trying to put him in square pegs and triangle pegs. They can't cover, they can't stop the run. Ring Maidens supposedly brought in personnel to stop the run. Those guys up front, they're getting turned around. Toronto linemen turned them around every play. Now they got their back to the play. They got their back to the quarterback. They don't know what's coming. You got to fight through that better. I don't care if it's D-line coach, Matthew Betts, you had John Bowman, you got Randy Melvin. You're a defensive lineman. Go get the freaking quarterback. Fight through the block. You've been playing this game long enough. You should know how to do that. So, Benny, RP, love you guys. You guys are great guys, but as defensive coordinators, you better start earning your keep. figure out the players you got and find the scheme that utilizes their strengths, because they all have strengths or they wouldn't be playing this game. The linebackers Kelly talked about are the best we've seen in a long time now that Woods is back. I know some guys have said Woods has been invisible, but I don't think so. He's been back, but there's no nastiness. And then when we do get nasty, we get a stupid flag. So I get it. That's in the back of your minds. But you know what? Like Roland says, push the envelope. Push the envelope. Because you know what? If you get a penalty for being overly aggressive, then come back the next play and shut the play down. But reevaluate what you've got. Because you got, 7 games left in the season? Figure it out. Find the best scheme to utilize the strengths you got. Know what that other team is bringing. You knew what Toronto can't run. So live and die. You'd live and die by the blitz. Live and die by letting the run go. Shut Arbuckle down pass-wise. Then you force them to be something. But that's what my solution. Reevaluate the talent you got and figure out the scheme to best utilize their strengths. Because this is too late to make wholesale changes.
All right.
Is that 5 minutes? I hope so.
Is it too late?
Wait, before you have follow-up questions to Greg, let me just read a few comments, and then you can post your follow-up question. CFL Central says, hard to imagine higher ups green lighting cap coverages for a second year.
Yeah, because we got burned.
Yeah, last year was an all-in season. Unless they have space under the soft cap line, I can't imagine NFL cuts arriving. Hope to be surprised though. Holly would be fun, even if the interior D-line is probably the only spot on defense not really in need of. What's Holly? I don't know what
Player? Is that a top?
Yeah, I'm not sure. CFL, if you tell us what Holly is, I'm not sure what that means. Q-Man says, NFL cuts won't make any impact. Zero made this team from last year. All cut.
Yes, he is right. Q-Man is right.
Morbital says, far MB. That's Benny, I guess.
Morbital, how are you?
Yeah. We talked about that earlier, too. And Morbital says, what the hell was Pierce's motive not to go for points down a TD before halftime? Yeah. We talked about that earlier.
Especially when we're getting the ball back. That would have gained the 2-score momentum back to trade punches.
Yeah. Dodge says, new coaches and new faces on the team. I'm not surprised. There's plenty of upside down the road. Long-term stability is the key. There is a lot of upside, especially on the offense. But like what CFL said earlier, the window of opportunity is not that big. You can't wait too long, right?
Yep.
Okay, CFL Center says Ralph Holly, interior D-line.
Okay, figure as a player.
Okay,
Is he an...
Kima says Holly is Toronto's property still.
Oh, okay, so he's an NFL, currently in the NFL?
I guess so. Oh, CFL says Argo last year 8 sacks.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
The CFL Central new? I don't think we've ever seen them come on before.
I think this is the first time we've seen you comment. So welcome, CFL Central.
Yeah.
Thought his contract might have expired last year when he went to Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry, Arthur. You can post your follow-up
All right.
to
So, Greg.
Yes.
You said it's too late. Is it really too late? Yeah. Is it really too late?
Well, again, if you bring in a new coach, these aren't his players. So again, you've got to be able to entice a coach to want to come here. And again, I don't know how the salary cap works. I'm just an emotional guy that loves his team, hook or by crook, and wow. Actually, we talked about that.
That's a follow-up question I have for Greg. All right,
okay.
So go on.
So
Go ahead. Yeah.
again, bringing in a coach, you're gonna need to entice a guy, especially one with cred.
Okay.
Wholesale changes with players. If these guys are tight and they've got that X factor in the room that they like each other, I don't know. I don't. If they like each other,
does it look like it?
Well, the secondary looks like it.
Does it look like they're playing for each other?
Again, after a game when it's out of reach, I don't know. But up until this point, it seems to.
All right.
Seems to. So again, I think it's little late for wholesale changes. Wholesale changes will likely not have the impact that it needs to save the season.
All right, Greg. Rapid fire replies here.
Oh, okay.
Did the team quit on the defensive players quit on the DC?
Yes.
Okay.
They're frustrated because, again, we talk about 50-50 scheme. they're thinking like nothing's working here. Like,
At the
and as
end,
players,
kinda
they may
quit.
have a closed door meeting, players only. But yes, I think they quit on it because they're tired, they're frustrated. It's like, let's just get the hell out of here and go home.
All right. You guys mentioned both of you guys mentioned bonus question. You guys both mentioned coaching. Does the DC need to teach these guys how to tackle? Is it the DC's responsibility in a professional football team to teach them how to tackle? Now, you guys answer that question. So you guys saying it's not necessarily personnel, it's really more in the coaching, scheme, coaching. They're not being coached up properly. My question is, we saw the first half of that game. Lots of broken tackles.
Yes.
Yep.
That's not on coaching.
Well,
that is not on coaching.
Okay,
You go first,
Okay,
Ro.
let me. So I think it's a little bit more nuanced. Do these players know how to tackle? Yes. Are they
Yes.
undisciplined? Yes. That's the thing. You know how to tackle. You've been taught that since you were little playing football.
No kidding.
But the problem is they get undisciplined, right? They get undisciplined. They go for the quick hit. They go for the they don't wrap up.
A highlight hit.
They don't set their legs properly. These are fundamentals. Do they know it? Yes, but you need a coach to remind them of the discipline. So it's both.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
They need to be reminded, and they need to be called out. What you just did there was not proper form. They need to be called out. They know what to do. They just need to
So
be called
quick
out.
follow-up then.
Yeah.
If they need to be reminded, is there a coach out there that prefers high-level hits and not to wrap up? So where do they learn this from? Like this not good technique of tackling that you need a professional coach to tell these professional players to not tackle with discipline. Like, did some coach down the line teach them how to tackle
No, it's just
without
sloppy.
discipline?
Just sloppy laziness. That's all
Sloppy
it
and
is.
lazy.
Sloppy, lazy.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, some comments. Oh, okay, let me read. So, CFL centrists like teaching, no, but you got to remind them and get on it when they lose the technique. Q-Man says, every year we get to mid-season and it's tackling training camp coming off a bye week. It's the scouting staff. They aren't prioritizing tackling. Dodge says, practice is much different these days. There's much less contact.
Yeah, there is.
Harpreet says, remind them it's tackle football.
Not flag.
Yeah.
It's flag,
Where's
yeah.
the flag? I can't find the flag.
Well. All right.
All right.
Is Ro done?
Just one
Okay.
more. Habs for life. So who's the leader on defense? The vet who doesn't let anyone get by
Okay.
with BS.
That is key. That is key right there.
Yeah, it should be a vet to do that. It shouldn't necessarily be a coach.
Yeah. Morbidal says, I used to play D back in my days, so she hears me complain about the tackling incessantly. Your girlfriend, okay. We also watched the 49ers and Nick Bosa during NFL season.
Well, that's Nick Bosa likes to get up close and personal with the quarterback he chews up and spits out. That's why. But anyway.
Okay, all right, Arthur.
All right, Greg, you're up with that question.
All right. To answer your question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, the coach does. What was it? Responsible for teaching? Is
Yeah.
that what your question was?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Does Mike Benavides need to teach these guys how to tackle?
No, he does not need to teach them how to tackle because all of these guys have been playing this game since they were 8 years old in Pop Warner. 90% of the roster, I'm getting like without the ratio, they're all American players, right? So they can get away with that diving shoulder hit BS on a smaller field where it's a lot closer. Because if you miss, there's guys that are backing you up. This field's got way too much room. That's another discussion, nuance of the game. What they need is a coach to enforce tackling. You don't need to teach them. You need to enforce and hold them accountable. Now, I didn't say this earlier in the defensive part of my rant, but Benavides was not only a defensive coordinator here before, he was a head coach here before, handpicked and groomed by
Wally.
arguably one of the better coaches in the league. I'm not going to say the greatest because I got my own opinions, but Wally
Who has the most
groomed.
wins in the league?
I don't care. Wins is just stats, and we know what stats are for.
Where's my
How many
Wa-
Grey
where's
Cups
my
did he
Wally
go to?
bobblehead?
But anyway, Wally handpicked Benny to be the head coach of this team. Benny, from guys I know, because I had players that I was friends with and business associates with, everything else, Benny was too much a player's coach and he lost the room. So I am thinking that Benny right now has lost the room because he's too soft to enforce the tackling. There's a whole expose on the Seattle Seahawks that they brought in rugby guys to teach them the elements of tackling. Now, if they think it's flag football, was that one of the listeners said something about flag football?
Yeah,
you still need your bloody arms to pull the flag. You can't pull the flag when you're diving like a missile. And Arthur will tell you how much I bitch, whine, and complain of the game. There's a certain player that just grates my craw. That's the burr in my saddle because that's the only way he tackles. He dives at the knees, and that A, can end a career, and B, is bloody lazy. The Winnipeg safety, I hate him. Number 7, because that's all he does. Him and that linebacker, Cramden, that's all they do is dive at knees. And that number 13 in Edmonton's starting to do that too. I'm glad none of our players do that on a majority. But yes, we need a coach, again, start finding players, start holding them, start hitting them where it hurts, like Kelly says. You start finding them, and it's BIFO. You buy in or you're done. Because they've got to have guys on the practice roster, right? Playing DB. Okay, yeah, learn the waggle. That's extra time in the film room if you're airlifted in. But it's covering a player, tackling a ball carrier. Coach doesn't need to teach him. He needs to enforce, and he needs to punish if they don't. And that goes for every unit on this team. Offense, defense, and teams.
All right.
All right.
All
So,
right.
Arthur, your thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, we
on
haven't
the,
heard from Arthur. He's asking the question. We haven't heard from
All
him.
right. Well,
And he's the reasonable one.
so
And you are too, Ro.
Thanks.
I mean, I think in my initial key thoughts, right, high level thoughts in the beginning, I had hope, maybe misplaced, and you know that we were going to get better defense this year with the attitude from Buck Pierce translating to the whole team. But then they basically brought back 2 of the existing defensive coaches that we had. Well, Benavides was the special teams coordinator. They moved him in. But so these guys are fairly loyal to the existing guys here. So they kind of ran it back. They made like 2 or 3 changes, 2 or 3 starting changes. Alway, Hendricks, I think there was Carter. They're all and then Dante Williams. So yeah, 4 changes. The rest are primarily the same guys. Yeah, that's a concern, and obviously it's gotten worse than what we are last year. So they can't stop the deep ball, and they couldn't stop the run. That was very evident through the first number of weeks. They couldn't stop the run. They're the worst against the run, or second worst against the run, and they can't stop the deep ball. So what do? Sometimes they they're trying to stop the run, they're trying to stop the deep ball, then the underneath is wide open. So then that's what happened the first half of yesterday's game. The underneath was wide open. So guess what? They took away the short zone, and they got burned deep. So how many times they got burned? They got burned deep a lot.
And the most inopportune times too. Second and long.
I mean, you can only take away, like, if you want to protect deep, you're going to give up the short zone. If you protect the short zone, you're going to give up deep. What do you do? So that's what's going on right now. They're disappointing on their pass rush. The linebackers, I agree with Greg, you and Kelly. They're the best of the unit. Yep. Right? I mean, we have a young secondary.
With a veteran.
We have a very young secondary, apart from Gary Peters. Up front, we don't. I think that should be our alpha guy, our alpha dog, right? Right, Roland? Should be that guy.
Should be,
but he's not.
He's not.
He's not that personality.
So, and then we brought in Hendricks. I don't know what kind of personality he is, but we need more dogs on the line, right? So, all right. How I change this? I like Mike Benavides as a person, but I would replace him this week. He's done. I'm reading some other sources. They're thinking his players, this pro player's his persona and his attitude, it wears thin on players. Like slogans, they kind of wear thin after a while.
Oh,
if
the
the slogans don't
metaphors and the
work.
similes and the
Yeah,
sayings.
yeah. So he goes with slogans. Maybe it's not working, and
Yeah.
it's not translating on the field. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We talked about Nathan Rourke, Keon Hatcher, James Butler. These these three are really, really good offensive weapons, and we're
Yeah.
wasting it, right?
Yeah. And if McInnes is back to form, it's
Exactly. So we need a change. So you have to change a coordinator to get everyone's attention. Like, if you get rid of Ryan Phillips, I don't think that really makes a dent.
Yeah.
So I rather go back to last year's defense. Last year's
RP?
defense was better
Ooh.
than now. I mean, come on. Last year's defense.
So you're gonna put RP back?
I
Well,
would
hang on. Arthur might have a point. Last year's defense was better. Maybe the players we brought in might accentuate last year's defense.
Yeah,
Arthur
last
has a
year's
point.
defense was better than this. Like, we were like the 4th-ranked defense last year. Just that when we got to the playoffs, we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't, like, Ouellette just ran over us, or
Yeah.
Oliveira. And so, mind you, it was tough, right? Last 3 years, we played Oliveira twice. We played Ouellette. Ouellette just ran over us. We couldn't stop the run, and that was pretty much the game, right? Like, Ouellette just kept on running on us. We couldn't do it. So I would make a change.
So
If there
it's
is another
RP.
coordinator,
You're talking, okay. So are
if
you
there's another, yeah.
are you,
Go ahead.
are you saying RP or someone else?
I would change Benavides for sure.
Right, and then at the most, with salary being what it is, they'd probably
So there-
bring RP back up.
There is an operations cap. I don't know how much they have left, so it's harder for me to say.
Well, hey, all the question was what would you do? We
Chris
don't
Jones?
know.
I mean, will he leave University of California
No.
to come in for the 3rd time to be this defensive consultant midstream? Because you need a defensive coordinator that's experienced in the CFL, that
Is he gonna be
knows
paid
the
more?
tendencies of the CFL offense in the
Yeah.
last couple of years. So
Is
I
he-
don't know if there's one out there.
I don't. Is he getting paid more where he is right
Well,
now?
heck yeah.
It's this
So,
question, but
yeah.
it's Chris Jones. It's all about ego.
Yeah, do you want that? Again, will he get along with Buck? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you brought me in, so it's my way or the. I don't know, but
But I mean,
isn't by opt.
honestly, by the end of this year, all the defensive coaches got to be like sharpening up their resumes and updating their resumes, because
What do
that
you-
whole side is it's going to go. It's going to be. There's going to be wholesale changes.
Yeah,
on
what are you
the
going to put on
defense,
your resume?
right?
I'm a defensive line coach. My guys that I coach, last in sacks, last in pressures.
I think they're going to have to like hit the big reset button on the defense.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. So the question is, how do you save this year? Because
Yeah.
you still have a chance to be 3rd in the West. I think Calgary's gone now with Saskatchewan. We can't catch them now.
You can't. Yeah.
So we
it's
can
just
maybe be
Winnipeg.
3rd in the West, or we get the crossover. We're still a playoff team. We have a chip in a chair. Yes, our defense doesn't scare anybody, and our offense is decent, right?
Yeah.
So we just need a chip in the chair. If they can kind of get the defense sorted out, get some pressure on the quarterback. Like,
Well, you
I
need to
don't know what
hurry,
they need
yeah.
to do. Like, whether it's like Roland says, we just need to have a culture, develop that culture. But we need a change. Bottom line, we need a change. Right now, Dolan's put so much investment into this team. They need a change. Just a change to give some confidence. Ticket sales will lag in the second half. So, I mean, if that performance yesterday on the defensive side was a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
A
very-
bit
very
embarrassing?
Yeah,
It's like-
it's to the point where changes have to be made. And then,
yeah.
like Hamilton did that last year. They were defensively, they were out of sorts. They made a change mid-year.
What did they do?
They brought in Chris,
Chris
Jones, and
Jones.
they let Mark Washington go.
Mhm.
So Mark Washington is another name that has familiarity with this organization.
and the
But-
CFL offenses.
Yeah,
But we keep recycling the same people over and over and over again.
I would love to get someone young, but that would have to be in the off season. You can't bring
yeah, well,
in
yeah,
like
you got to work it in. Yes,
Yeah,
Arthur's
yeah.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you need someone experienced for a 10-week run,
Yeah.
and
And-
then let's see what happens. Like, it's like a reset button. It's you could call it a Hail Mary, right? But
Yeah.
I think you need. I mean, honestly, you give them a week off. You come back and you practice. I I don't have any great confidence with the existing coaching.
Yes.
We're going to see a massive change. Now the teams will know how to beat us
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, just show up. Hey, but
Q-Man says, would be shocked if RP isn't
Yeah.
up by midweek.
but then again, we're still recycling.
And
but-
he says Washington was awful in
He
Hamilton.
was.
Well, it might have been the players he had. Who again? We don't know.
But again, how awful was that compared to the awful we have?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And we just need a middle of the road defense that we
Yeah.
got a shot at winning a playoff
Well-
game. Right now we have zero chance to win a playoff game,
Well,
right guys?
Yeah, because
Zero chance.
we talk about complementary football. The offense is 1/3 of that. The offense cannot right now cover the D and cover the horrible special teams because the special teams puts the offense in a hole. If the offense for whatever reason stalls, okay, now we got to punt. Our coverage is a little bit better than our return, but now you got to depend on the D to stop wherever they return the ball to. The offense cannot overcome. They cannot complement enough the shortcomings of the other two units. It's impossible. You are right, Arthur. Defense wins championships. Our defense can't even win us a quarter.
Yeah. So Habs for Life says, hold their team to 40 points so we have a chance. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all the defense needs
But
to
they
do.
can't.
I know. Adrian. Hey, Adrian. Nice to see you online here. I'm late
Is
to
that
this
Adrian?
discussion.
Adrian?
Yes, my
Hey!
brother-in-law, Adrian. Late to this discussion, but maybe the Argos won because Arbuckle played great. His throws were on target.
It's pretty hard to not be on target when you're not hurried, not rushed, and your receivers
Yeah.
are wide open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you're
I
Trey
mean-
Ford.
I mean, he did play a good game, and he was
played a good
he
game.
was
Yeah,
was
he did.
happy. He was loose. He was seeing all the holes in our defense, and so he picked us apart. But if our defense had stepped it up a bit more, he might not have had that game, right? Dodge says stability is key to success. When I hear about replacing personnel, it has to be well thought out. True. Hasselai says they need open tryouts for D-line. I'll take the ferry over and give it my best shot. All right. I'd love to see you,
Ooh,
Habs.
Okay, so you're willing to go up again. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
with you, Habs for life.
Yes. All right. So those quick questions you can ask yourself too, Arthur.
So did the D
Give
players
up.
quit on
Yeah.
the coordinator? I think they did.
Okay.
I think they did.
Quit to get him fired, or just quit because they're sick of the scheme, sick of the, like you said, the
sick of
colloquialisms.
scheme. Maybe at the beginning they're sick of a vanilla defense. We didn't rush, and when we blitzed, it wasn't the right, and we were just there's no big adjustments.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is the 11th game, and we saw in the last few games the adjustments are from game to game.
Yeah.
Not
But
played
we
yeah.
need adjustments
In game. Yeah.
mid-game, in game.
I mean, talking about
like
blitzes.
other teams do against us.
Yeah,
Ta-
exactly.
Talking about
Yeah.
blitzes, when we saw Calgary blitz yesterday, they had one purpose: get to the quarterback.
Mm.
When
Quickly.
we blitz, it seems like they're just dancing around, trying to moving. I have no idea
It
why.
looks like
that's-
they're not sure.
It seems they just don't know. They're unsure of what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think a lack of awareness. They don't have that field awareness. They don't have. Again, if you're not strong enough to get and you get turned by an old lineman, you're done. You don't know if a running back's coming. You don't know where the quarterback's looking. You can't even get your hands up to tip a ball. And I think what was the other question Arthur had about wholesale changes?
Does
Wait.
Mike Benavides does not need to show anyone how to tackle.
No.
He needs like what you said. He needs to remind them, this is the standard we have. If you're not meeting it, you're gone.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't have the players. It's our top players are making the mistakes.
Yeah, not
Oh.
disciplined. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now too. We were talking about veteran leadership. Somebody's got to take charge. The alpha dog.
Yes.
Okay. So who are your veterans on D? For tenure, Gary Peters. Yes or no?
Yes.
Gary Peters, which is now he's kind of losing his game a little bit. Sorry, Gary, but
Yeah.
But I mean, okay. So if you're losing your game, if you're constantly being burned, we don't know what the culture is in that locker room. But let's again. I'm going to try to put my positive pants in. Oh, by the way, do you guys notice the jersey color I'm wearing today? This is what we need to do to change the D. Go back to the guys that played in this jersey.
I thought it's a
And-
Dave Dickinson jersey.
Oh. Anyway, we need Hebler, we need Klassen, we need Jackson, we need Konar, we need Cruz, we need all. Anyway, okay, Micah Awe, fourth tour with the Lions, but he is your middle linebacker. Generally, those are the guys that are a little loose up here, that are psychotic. Like Adam Biggill. Would you listen to Adam Biggill if he started calling you out?
Yeah.
I think so.
Thank you.
Solly? I think so. Can Mike Awe call people out?
I mean, he's inspirational, right?
Yeah.
He plays hard, but I mean, he's a smallish, he's an undersized middle linebacker.
But can he
right?
call people out? Can he hold that defense accountable? Make the tackle. Because I mean, but then again, because I don't think Bolio, your safety, he ain't calling anybody out.
No, he's just like second year.
Right, and your young secondary, they ain't calling anybody out.
No, yeah.
Covington, he's got a little bit of pedigree, but not on this team, not in the CFL. He can't call anybody out. So it's got to be, in my opinion, Peters or Awe. Haladik, sure, but I don't think all due respect to Ben, the way he tackles, I don't think he can call anybody out. He's not nasty enough. He's a smart, intellectual, positionally sound, great football IQ, but he's not the psycho dog that's got to call people out. Other side, Josh Woods. I think he's more the quiet, let my play do the talking kind of guy. You need a guy that's barking, a guy that's nuts, like Lawrence Taylor kind of personality, Ray Lewis kind of personality. And I think the closest starter we got on that defense is Awe.
Yeah.
Human says Awe is gone at season end. Reason why Calgary cut him.
There's a reason, yeah?
There is. I mean, he's good. He's a stopgap guy if you don't have someone young, but he's like there's a number of middle linebackers that I like better than him. He's a good guy, always good.
But that were available at the time.
No.
Would you have taken Cam Judge over him?
About the same. But Judge is better in coverage.
Yep.
Right.
But then again, is that also the key? Can I add this really quick? See, I was talking about Kelly a lot about. You look at Deontay Williams, and I said it ever since he said he's the hardest hitter in the CFL. The guy has sucked. I think he cursed himself because now they put him in as a coverage player. He cannot cover. But Lordy B, can he stop a run? And Lordy B, can he tag somebody? Don't know if he's a loud player though to yabber.
Yeah.
To call people out because he's new to the team.
It just tells you they don't have a halfback. They have to go to him.
Well, but they've put Rene. Can Rene not go back? Like, was Rene better at set?
I don't think that. No. There's a reason why Rene's. They had we had to between one of you two guys because Edwards Coopers is out. Between one of you two guys,
but again,
one has to go to halfback.
Yeah, I personally would switch them back. That's me. Okay. But I mean, now I've seen Rene and I've seen Barry Hill get all yappy on camera in the post game where they're counting down the locker room, but I don't think that's the yappy. Yeah. They're goofy yappy, but I don't think that's one that's going to pull the dressing room together and say, guys, we got to get collectively figure this out. I think it's like if I borrow a hockey thing, they need a players only meeting. If these guys care about this season, they need a players only meeting figured out.
Human says Williams is a Sam, not a halfback.
Typically he was, but when Edwards Cooper is out.
Yeah, now he's positionally a halfback.
And they do a cover two, and they drop their halfbacks as two safeties, and they bring Bolio up.
Yeah.
So they kind of do like this. Essentially, Carter and him are like safeties, and a cover two organized in a set.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you guys a question too. Kelly was talking. He was cut the safety, get rid of Bolio, find a player that again an American or Canadian, but one that's got more talent. He doesn't think
he's your
Bolio's
best
talent.
I like Bolio.
He's the least of your problems.
Would you go back? Hey, there's a guy out there that was a decent safety. Would you go back and get Mojay?
Not at the expense of Bolio, who's a Canadian.
Okay, well, I mean,
he's played good. He's played.
Well, that's what I said. He's played adequate. I don't think it's his fault. He's out of position to cover deep pass when they've got him up to stop a run, and then they go over top. Then he's got a hightail it back there.
Mind you, in the last 2 games, he's been beat a bit deep.
Yeah, but is he trying to cover? Because again, he's the last line of defense. If he's like, shoot that guy's going now, because again, they know. Let's make him pick his poison, right? That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, he's
only cut by one, us. And he got injured when he got cut in Toronto.
Yeah, I think Bolio, this is his first full year. I mean, Green was back there as starting safety last year.
Yeah.
and then Bolio took over about halfway. So maybe Bolio, this is his second year, first full year, full time. Maybe he's hitting the wall a bit.
Yeah. Well, I just want to throw that out there because
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
like he's
yeah.
been adequate, but not impactful.
He has been impactful.
Oh, hey, the strip in the overtime, that was
Yeah.
great.
Let me. We're a little over time, so let me read a few more comments, and then we'll get to our last segment. Michael says, "I watched the highlights, and both defenses were suspect. One offense was better, nothing fancy."
Yeah, one
Yeah,
offense was
not
better.
sure.
Toronto's nothing fancy. Throw it deep. There you go.
Yeah.
Throw it to an open
I mean,
receiver.
they were better because I think our defense was a lot worse.
Our defense was more suspect than theirs.
Yeah. Q-Man says, "Last time we cut guys for sake of change, Sales went to Saskatchewan, was an all-star, and Campbell was fired."
You got a point there.
Yeah, I mean,
Would it
that's
not
the
be
thing.
nice to see Marcus Sales as a halfback again?
That's our story, right? We cut people, and then they do better elsewhere.
That was an RP decision. He thought Green and Rene
yeah.
or Perryman were better than Sales, so they kind of went that way.
Hence, well, because Sales was on the older side, Sales was on the
Yeah.
more expensive side. So are we cursed like the Canucks? Do we have poor scouting, poor judge of talent?
You got to eventually rotate to younger players, and
Of course.
that's the one very, very thin silver lining is the Lions are transitioning to a younger team.
Yeah.
Okay, these other teams that
Winnipeg.
they have I think a little bit older players. We are transitioning to try to keep, but you got growing pains, and they just didn't get the right guys.
But at the same time, too, Saskatchewan has now had Corey Mace for how many years? This is year 2 or year 3?
The second year, midpoint the second year.
But that whole entire team has bought into the culture he has
Well,
instilled.
Let's just talk about Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. No, because that means I got to talk about
So-
Dave Dickinson.
You
Don't want
love Davey.
Yeah, like the plague and like a root canal. But anyway, but
let me-
again, Buck is, again, he's everybody's like he's come from this great culture in Winnipeg. So what is interrupting the message? If he's come
don't
from
know.
perfection
If-
in this,
if
why are
we
we
knew-
having the undisciplined penalty?
Yeah, if we knew the answer, they'd
Too bad
fix-
Big Hill wasn't healthy. Maybe he would have brought Big Hill in instead of Holloway.
Well, Big Hill is now somewhere else.
Well, no, but that was like
But
in
as
the off
insurance,
season.
yeah.
He was injured. He's still not playing, right? But if he was healthy, he would be a great culture carrier for Buck Pierce. But that didn't happen, and now he's with Calgary.
Yep.
Okay,
And
let me-
again, did Buck bring his like are all these coaches that we changed? Because yes, Campbell's gone, so you get rid of Campbell's environment, except you kept RP. But
I
are
think
all
he-
these coaches
yeah.
because Buck can't bring in his own guy because of
He
money,
brought-
or
I thought he brought two guys in. Like they're
Melvin
on
and-
the offensive side of the football.
yeah.
I don't know why he
We're-
didn't keep Bowman. But
We're getting pretty late, so let's
Okay,
let me
right.
finish reading the comments, and then we'll go to our next segment. CFL Central agrees Bolio is the least of their issues. Ashi says Bolio has been fine.
Yeah.
Adrian says
Kelly
maybe a
lost this.
lesson from the Stamps. When the Stamps had Jake Mayer, we lost most games. We sucked. VA was a difference maker. Thanks, Lions.
Oh wow,
So-
Adrian.
Rourke needs to play better than Arbuckle. I mean, you're welcome. Yes, VA was a great player. We hated losing him, but I think it was still the right call
Yeah.
because we're like what Arthur said. We're rotating to younger players. VA still has a few good years left, but Nathan has a lot more. So,
And
but I think Nathan is much better than Arbuckle. I think it was this game. He
Nathan
was-
had 12 guys dictating the way he played better than the 12 guys we dictated the way Arbuckle played.
Yeah.
I think Nate did play better. Just Arbuckle looks better because there was nothing to stop him.
Yeah. Mark says they spent no money on their secondary in free agency and are now paying the price. Williams was a spare part with the Riders. Calgary signed Webb for 150K
Wow.
and Green for 140K.
Whoa, really? Adrian Green
Wow.
got that much? Wow.
Adrian Green is playing like
he played-
rejuvenated.
yeah. This is our story, right? We let people go and then they do well.
Well, I mean, they paid. If Calgary paid those prices,
Then Calgary's got to be losing money somewhere else.
well, yeah.
They
Wow.
got to be budget conscious somewhere because they got VA and that kind of money. Where's Calgary spending no money? Right?
Yeah.
Where are they spending no money?
So Cuman says Mace year one lost like 9 games in a row.
Yeah, after Labor Day, did not look good.
Yeah.
Cuman says Buck will bring in his DC next year. Unfortunately, it will be Richie Hall.
Well, I'm okay with that.
As a DC, Richie Hall is great. As a head coach, nah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Q-Man,
again, a former
have you
player.
seen our defense last 4 years, Q-Man? Come on, tell me.
Yeah. CFL Central, cost of a starting Canadian, though.
Oh, don't get me started on the ratio.
Yeah. Nathan says Richie Hall would be a great DC for us.
Okay, well now let me bring up this. We talk about trading Lions away, and they shine elsewhere. The Vancouver sport, because I don't care what sport it is, we bring in stars from elsewhere, and they come here. Nah. Is that going to happen with Richie Hall, the great defense coordinator? He's going to forget how to coach defense here. I'm just asking.
All right, it's 9:45. We're over time. Let's.
Rants take a time, Ro.
Yeah,
Rants
I know.
take a toll.
I know. Okay, Arthur, you want to walk us through the
All right.
those questions?
Roland, who is your Canadian player of the game?
Canadian player of the game for me is Javon Kotoy. 2 touchdowns and a third one almost made it
Almost.
in. So
He
it
needed
would
to
be,
punch that in.
Yeah, it would be Javon Kotoy.
And Gregory, who is your unsung hero of the game?
First year player Jackson Finley, Lion. Do I say alumnus or bloodline? Bloodline.
Yeah, Bloodline.
Yeah, I mean he was noticeable. He was more noticeable than a lot of the starting defensive guys. Right? He broke up a second and long, and then we take the whatever penalty. He made contributions on special teams coverage.
Excellent.
I like the
the choice. I like the choice. And my big picture moment is a -1, and we talked about it all night, but it was so bad yesterday, and it's been not good this whole season. Buck Pierce hiring Mike Benavides as our defensive coordinator, and then essentially keeping the bulk of our defense the way it was.
Yeah.
Hoping that a new personality or new culture from the head coach would translate down. It has not. And it needs attention and needs attention right
Yesterday.
away. Right away. Like, you can't wait till the end of the season. This is wasting Nathan Rourke prime year.
It is.
You got to make a change. You can't get worse. Like, honestly, this defense, you can't get worse. If you bring in someone and it's a complete tire fire. Tell me, Greg, can this defense be worse?
I think we're at the bottom of the barrel now.
Can we be worse?
Like, is there a risk? Is there a risk I bring in someone in and it's like it gets
And nothing
worse?
changes?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if nothing changes, it's still the
we
same.
can't get worse, but we can suck in different areas, but we can't get worse.
Yeah.
But again, I just want to add to what Arthur says. This also goes towards Buck's credibility in the long run. You brought him in as the new head coach, the new environment, the new culture, the new whatever it is. If he doesn't make changes on parts of his team that aren't working, how much of the players going to believe in him?
Yeah.
How much of the season ticket holders? How much of the investment money that revenue is generated from are going to believe in him? Right? If he just says, oh, well,
Yeah, like, is that disciplined approach? I like that, right? Like, if players are get disciplined for doing stupid things on the field, getting flagged, right? Like unnecessary roughness, all that stupid things, then if Buck knows there's an issue and doesn't quash it,
yeah,
it just festers. And this
Yep.
whole
becomes a tumor.
this whole season is going to be a write-off, and even our offense will start to shut down and not believe.
Well,
right?
you think
And
about
then-
it. Doman's
Something
going to
has to
go to
happen.
ring mates and
Something
you
has to
told me to
happen.
bring in Buck Pierce. I wrote the check for Buck Pierce, and what the heck? Right? You get Doman to start regretting his investment in this team, we're in trouble.
I'm expecting something to happen.
Yeah, I think
during this
something will
bye
happen.
week. Something has to happen.
Something. It could be even like a small thing, but something will happen.
Morbidal says, last comment. Last week, why the hell was the roof closed? Was sweating like crazy. We spent $500 million on that roof. If a small chance. Oh, why did we spend $500 million on that roof? If a small chance of rain means we can't use it.
Yeah, because it was pouring the Friday before, so they probably had
Yeah.
to make a call.
So Cuman says, rain too much. Fabric was drenched. Can't open it even when sunny.
They might have dumped too much water on the field because it
Oh.
folds in like an umbrella. It might have messed up where it's stored.
Morbidal says, would love to get Leos on board with Whitecaps for a new mid-sized stadium.
That's been in the works since the Whitecaps were taken over by Brad. What's his face? Who's now leaving it?
Cuman says, no way I'm going to PNE. Awful location.
Yeah, but you know what? We talked about that. The vibe at Empire, like when they had New Empire while they were renovating BC Place, that was a
It
great
was
stadium to watch a
because we
game.
were
But yeah,
we were up close
yeah.
with
But
the with the
logistically,
players.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, logistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has for Life says, great show. I'm not trying to give up, but damn, I don't know, guys. Don't give up.
Don't
hope,
give up on the
Habs.
3 down bros.
You can
He's
give
not
up.
talking about us.
You
He's
can give
talking
up on
about
the
the
Habs.
Lions.
You can give up on the Habs. You can give
Oh.
up on the Lions.
Oh, oh.
Okay. Morbidal says, Greg Kerfoot.
Thank you.
I used
Thank
to
you,
work for the
Kerfoot.
Whitecaps at that time.
Kerfoot, yes.
All right. So I guess no
Thank you, Morbidel.
no predictions for next week. We have a bye week.
We did have prediction. Change is coming. That was all.
Well, we
predictions across the
all
board.
picked BC to win.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
well,
Blake, Daniel,
where's been Blake tonight? Didn't see
Q-Man,
Blake.
and Todd all picked BC to win. We
Maybe
all
that's why
lost.
Blake's not on the show tonight.
I mean, if
Sunday night.
yeah,
Yes.
there was an upset, definitely, and Toronto took advantage of it. So kudos to them. They were able to take advantage of our weakness.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, a quick one.
Oh.
We're running out of time.
Would you guys have been as upset if it was, say, we lost like that to Ottawa, or Calgary? I'd have been upset because it's Dave Dickinson, but Ottawa, I would have been okay if they dropped 52 on us because it's good for the league. But Toronto, bugs me.
Yeah, no, I would have been upset if we lost this the same way to Ottawa. Yeah, Captain Buttershirt said, didn't see any 3DVs at the movie viewing. Yeah, we couldn't make it on Thursday, but
We saw F1 on Tuesday,
yes,
You guys did.
F1
I
versus
couldn't make that one
Titans.
either.
and then we had to go all the way to East Surrey.
Has for Life, I'll watch your show every week till the end, even if we lose every game this season. Thanks so much, Habs. We'll make it even sweeter in 2040 when they get to the Grey
No,
Cup.
2040. No, 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 no.
Whoa.
Nathan Work will be like 42. You know, he's not gonna be playing.
Yeah. CFL Central, lose like this. It's bad regardless who does it. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
lost like, yeah. But I'd have been okay if it was Bob Dice keeping his job and he hung 42 on us. I'd have been okay. I'm kidding.
All right. It's 9:52. We'll call it a night. Thanks guys for hanging with us and for getting stuff off our chests and our shoulders. Hopefully our predictions will be right, that some change will happen and that we'll see a shake up and the players will come back on fire, because our offense deserves a lot better than this. Right? Amar deserves a lot better than this.
100%.
Yep. Season ticket holders deserve a lot better than this.
Yeah.
I don't mind when they lose like this, though, because it gives us better shows to talk about. But, you know.
What are you talking about, Greg?
Anyway, have a great evening, a great week. We have a bye, but we'll still have a show next Sunday.
And maybe there might be 3 down row breaking news if something major happens, right? We don't
That's true. That's true.
talk about it. Who knows?
All right. Kima says, look forward to seeing Benny on TSN instead of the sideline.
Oh.
Who would you replace him with? Who would you replace with Benny?
He's just a guest. He won't be permanent.
Okay.
He'll just be a guest.
Because they'll get tired of his slogans and his. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
He's a good guy, though. He is,
He's a good
as a
guy.
guy, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not producing, so.
No, as a coach, maybe.
All right. Have a great evening, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. And if you're catching this after the live stream, let us know your thoughts in the comments as well. Okay, take care. Have a good week. Good night, and see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Changes.